Okay, I found a video on YouTube wherein Ben Shapiro is talking about student loans, student debt crisis, student loans. Uh, an interesting video. I thought I should pick up some things from there. Before that, I saw Jordan Peterson's video as well. Both are conservatives in their point of view. So, while assessing while just reading whatever we have written it down, we need to keep in mind that their view is conservative. Uh, Yeah, so in a video, Jordan Peterson was talking about the importance of positive encouragement and how people hesitate from or students also hesitate from telling you good news because you know they are afraid that the reaction that it may elicit would not be to their liking, or maybe people often don't react to good news, or people often don't react to good news the way that we would want them to react, and therefore most of the times we end up not telling them what the good news is. So herein he was talking about when somebody shares some kind of good news with you, you need to react to them appropriately, because the smallest of reactions, a positive reaction, goes a long way in encouraging that person and making them feel good. So I thought it was a good point to note down, and it needs to be told to the teachers who will be teaching in the school. Next, yes, the video wherein Ben Shapiro is talking about the student debt crisis. Uh, Ben Shapiro says that the taxpayers cannot pick up the bill. Like I said, this is a conservative view. Okay, he does not want, uh, if the students are defaulting, it does not want a taxpayer to cover it for it, which I think is logical, because some of the taxpayers, they may not have even completed their high school educations or may not have given to colleges. Why would they pay for someone who's going to college and not being able to meet them, right? So I think he has a point there. Students must, then he comes up with a point saying that this is going to be difficult, but then his point is students must ask the college to guarantee that if they pass from that institution, there is a certain level of income that they will earn. Guaranteeing a certain level of income. This is going to be difficult for, of course, the colleges or the colleges. They have their, mm, average packages that they usually declare, which is a good way of doing that. The colleges and even the schools also should, maybe they may not have packages or money as parameters, but there can be something else. I need to define some kind of parameters wherein after school, the student needs to have some kind of market value. Most of the times, the employers don't even ask which school did you go to, but a student graduating from our school needs to have a certain market value. We need to, you know, the students who graduate from our school, they need to have certain mark. Because if by any chance also, if somebody goes through your CV and they happen to see that okay, this is this particular school that they have graduated from, it should carry certain weight, just like the Harvard, Stanfords, of the world, they carry certain weight, right? So when they know that okay, this kid has graduated from this school, they should know that he's good in problem solving, he knows how to work in a team, or maybe he has equipped himself with certain skill sets. So that is what should come across. So he should have a certain market value. He then talks about not looking at college education as a parameter for employing someone. They themselves at The Wire have a policy of not looking at the college education. This is, because the schools are not updating themselves. This is quite scary actually, because I'm trying to come up with a new product in the form of a school, right? A new school, but then increasingly good people are moving. They're not very happy with what is happening at schools, and therefore they do not even look at their college educations, the students or the candidates college education or school education, because they feel that is not the parameter, or it does not necessarily translate into work life success. So what is happening here? Are we missing out anything? What is it that I should be taking care of? because the students graduating from the school need to be ready for what is going to come ahead. And this should not happen that no thought is given to what school they've graduated from. If the student has graduated from our school, they need to have certain value. This is quite scary actually, because more and more people, good people that I have been listening to, they have been saying that college education holds no value for them, or they do not check college education as a parameter. What it tells me that yeah, yeah. The Ben Shapiro then goes on to encourage people to take online courses. What it tells me is that the relevance of schools and colleges is reducing by the day, which is true, because they are not updating themselves. So I need to think on those lines as to what can be done so that there is some relevance, and good people find sending their kids to schools, colleges more attractive. There is a gap that has to be filled definitely, because more the number of successful people that I'm hearing, they are not really convinced about sending their kids to colleges, or they're not satisfied with what is happening in colleges. Yeah, so I had this question: whatever I am making, do I even call it a school? Because given the stigma that is getting attached to school nowadays, do I even want to call it a school, or do I need to completely reposition, because I need the student to graduate from my institute to have certain market value globally also? So I think yes, I'm worried here. Do I make a complete do a complete repositioning? That is the question now. He says the kids and need to take apprenticeships as opposed to going to colleges. He's saying that. So what he means here is, the point that he's making here is, we need the students to be exposed to real life scenarios, right? That is what he wants to imply here. So the question now is, do I give some kind of work to the students of standard 11 and 12th? Will that count, or will that come in the colleges scope, or do I just leave it to colleges? Maybe I can simulate real life scenarios or give them case studies. As many case, I think I should have more rigor in terms of the case studies that they solve. Right, I need to expose them to real life scenarios, more real life scenarios, and not just keep them in real protected bubbles. So yes, that is what we are looking at. I need to expose them to more real life scenarios. So yes, and then also he makes it a point. I don't know how I missed it. Okay, I think I missed a very good point. But then I think I heard Ben Shafir also making a point that the parents are not able to, take care of or plan. The parents need to plan for a kid's education. It is not going to happen, just like that. Education is a serious investment, and when the child is growing, the parents need to have certain investments set aside for the education of the student. They need to have certain, so they need to contribute a bit. So if there is no planning on the part of the parents, the student is going to end up with lots and lots of loans. That is going to happen. So the parents also need to think a bit about their kid. They need to start investing, just as they are investing in their future. They also need to invest in the kids future also. Of course they are paying the fees, right, the current fees, but then they need to think a few years ahead and start investing, start keeping aside certain money, start planning for that. If the correct kind of planning happens, the student is going to face less problems. And that is where, most of the parents, they do not have that kind of awareness. They're not thinking about 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line. They're not thinking it like that. Most of the parents, the middle class, the lower middle class parents, they're just thinking about what is going to happen next year or 2 years down the line. And that is where the problem is. They do not know how to tackle certain things, or how to plan for their fees. And that is where this product for creating a product for parents comes in. We need to have workshops for parents wherein they understand as to how to plan for all these things. Then I saw a video by Jordan Peterson wherein he's making a point that don't sacrifice who could you be for who you are. Choose between transform in positive direction and maintain who you are. Choose transforming in positive hierarchy. Usually what happens is we like to keep our status quo, we like to remain the way we are, we do not want to take that risk, we don't want to improve a bit, but then that is wrong. And most of the times what happens in schools is we end up telling them that something which is right for the other person may not be right for you. So we end up telling them about a value system which is relative to one another. Something which is right for the other kid may not be right for this kid. Correct? So the value structures differ. And if there is not a defined value structure, a defined value hierarchy, then it is going to be a problem. Then the student is not going to be able to think very clearly as to what he should aim, what he should aspire to. Right? So if we put very clearly to a student that just remaining having a status quo and not trying to improve, right? Trying to improve, we need to tell them that trying to improve is much better, is higher on the hierarchy, whereas remaining in the status quo is lower on the hierarchy. We need to tell them that they need to aspire to become, to improve 1%, 0.1% every day. But then that needs to happen. That hierarchy of values need to be defined, and that hierarchy needs to be fixed for all the students. That is what he is telling here. Also, he talks about letting go of certain old experiences. Allow yourself to shake all the things of the past. Shake off things you may be pathologically attached to, habits, thoughts, memories. I think he makes a very logical point here that the students should aspire, to improve every day, even though by a bit. But then that needs to be the aim. The student needs to be, encouraged as to take that step, take that direction, make those mistakes, and start aspiring towards positive changes, incremental positive changes, and not just be afraid and remain in their current state.